Hello everyone, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Sorry, I thought I heard one of my kids coming. I was checking the door. How's everyone doing? It's Sunday. I'm struggling. I am struggling. I woke up really tired and when that happens, I get the brain fog, the disorientation, the loopiness, I feel disconnected from my surroundings, and so I am really struggling today. It's been really hard just to make it through the day. Like we got about another hour, and then the kids go to bed for school. So I'm just hoping to make it one more hour. Then I can be alone with my thoughts and my brain and maybe have a good cry. I think that feels on the horizon for me. I'm just really struggling. So today I want to talk about, the title of my post says when the past meets the present. And so I want to talk to you guys about my friend who came to visit me today. We have been friends for 20 plus years. I want to say 20 plus years. And we met in sorry, the brain fog is so real today. This is awful. We met in youth group, church youth group. Just a sweet dear friend of mine that I met in church youth group. And back when we were younger and didn't have our illnesses and things like that, we had a blast hanging out with each other and just being silly and goofy and spontaneous and doing all this fun stuff. We went on youth mission trips together, and those were really fun. And we would go out to dinner sometimes and admire the men in the restaurant. We were into cowboys. We liked a good-looking cowboy. And where we used to live, there were lots of cowboys. And there was also a place where we lived, and they had a feed store. And I won't mention the name here, but there was a feed store, and we would drive by the feed store. And we would just admire the cowboys lifting heavy grain and seed and stuff and hauling it into people's vehicles for their livestock and other big animals like great big dogs and things. And so we would sit and admire in the car at the feed store the good-looking cowboys. We go to a restaurant and sit and admire the cowboys. We liked country music. We liked oldies a lot too, but back then we were into country a lot. And she came by for a visit today. Now we talk just almost daily. There are times we'll go in spells where we don't talk for, a week or two because life is just too hard. But I haven't seen her face to face. Probably 6 or 7 years it's been, and it seems crazy to say that, but it's so true. And we live in the same state, but not in the same town. And so when you have chronic illness and you can't travel and go and do and be normal, then you don't get the chance to see people. And she has some of the things I have, but then she also has a whole lot of other things that I don't have. And that's not my place to tell her story, but I just wanted to get on here and talk about when the past meets the present. And I got to see my friend today, and it was just the most beautiful blessing. I mean, literally, I could have cried, like, right there on the spot. She got to see some of my kids that she hasn't seen in person. but knows all about and has talked to them on the phone, things like that, but she hasn't actually visually seen them in person. And it was great. It was a very short but wonderful visit. But at the same time, it was so hard and so difficult. Back when we were in youth group, as I said, we were spontaneous, we were carefree, we were fun. We would go and do things and just have so much fun, not a care in the world, you know? And now that we have gotten older, none of us back in our youth group days would have seen coming what was coming, basically. We wouldn't have seen our lives turning out this way. And it's interesting because looking back on it now, being in my chronic illness state and her being in her chronic illness state, it's like we can sit and say that God is good. You know, God is really, really good, because back then we had fun and we enjoyed having fun and doing this and doing that and being spontaneous and carefree, and that was wonderful. And I am grateful and thankful for those times before my illness came and showed up. But neither one of us could have seen our lives turning out the way that they are now, but God did. And God knew, one, that we needed those fun times to get, and memories that we built in our mind to get through the hard that was coming. And two, God knew we would need each other later in life. He knew that we were going to need each other, and He brought us together all those years ago so that we could support each other now when we need each other the most. You know, we needed each other back then, and we had fun and that kind of stuff, but we really, really need each other now. We are keeping each other going on this really, really hard journey that we are both going on. We've been through the ups, the downs, the happies, all of that together. They call them the highs and the lows. But with that comes sadness. Yes, I'm grateful I have her, because nobody empathizes with her. Or nobody empathizes with me. I don't want to say this. So, nobody understands me like she does, okay? Nobody gets it like she does, what I go through. And nobody gets what she goes through like I do. And we get judged a lot. Based on our illnesses and the things that we go through, we get judged a lot on, well, why aren't you better now? Why aren't you trying harder? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You know, all those people that aren't sick love to tell us, you're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. Why haven't you tried this? Why aren't you trying that? Why don't you just diet? Why don't you just go on a diet? Everything's going to be better if you go on a diet. I'm like, seriously, I don't weigh enough as it is. Diet change is not going to help me. I mean, yes, maybe eating more fruits and vegetables and high protein, things like that, of course, will make your body healthier and stronger. But it's just, they love to tell you what to do and how to do it. And my friend, my beautiful friend, doesn't do that. She just sits and she listens, and she doesn't say things like, I get what you're going through, or I completely understand. She says, I'm sorry that you're going through that. She may be going through the same stuff as me and the same struggles as me in some areas, but we all handle it differently and we all feel it differently. And she doesn't try to say, I get it. I totally get it. And, you know, I know what you're going through. She says, how can I help you? How can I support you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? And it's such a blessing, such a huge, huge blessing to have her in my life, yet very sad at the same time, because someone that gets you on that level is also struggling. It really hurts to see my friend going through the challenges that she's going through. My goal in life is for nobody to ever feel what I feel or go through what I go through. I don't even wish this on my worst enemy. But it was so beautiful today to see her after so many years. So many years of just talking and helping each other through the night and keeping each other alive at times, because, just be frank with you, having a chronic illness does make you suicidal. And so I'm very, very grateful to God for what we had in the past that brought us together, that brought us joy, that brought us happiness. I'm also grateful that God saw that we were going to need each other later in life, so He introduced us at just the right moment, because He knew that we were going to need each other later. And I'm so, so, so grateful for that. But it is painful. It's painful to see your friends suffer and struggle. It's painful to think of the past and the fun and the healing tissue. Oh, my nose. It is sad to think of the fun and the past and the things that we used to be able to do, and now we can only handle short, small visits. They have to be small, they have to be calm, and just basically being in each other's presence. That's another sad thing too, is just getting together with someone you haven't seen for a long time, and you have to just be mindful of where they're at mentally, physically, emotionally, and you have to support that, and you have to keep it short and allow them to be able to go back and rest, and then maybe come another day and see you again. I needed that today with my brain fog and disorientation. It was just really, really hard to stay engaged and to stay focused, and so I'm sad because I just wanted my friend to come by, and we just hop in the car and go and be and do like we used to, but our life is different now. It looks so much different than it did way back when. That's really, really painful. And so when your two worlds collide, the past with the present, it can be very, very, very difficult. It can be sad, it can be hard. It can be a slap in the face of reality of just looking at your friend and remembering, what life used to be like. Like, oh, we used to be able to do this and we used to be able to do that. And, just the sad reality of what we can't do anymore. And trying to make the most of what we can. It was a short visit. It was kind of quiet. We did sit by each other and just enjoy being near each other after so many years of not being able to get to each other because of our illnesses, but wanting to so bad, especially on those nights when the person was, maybe not well mentally or physically, and it's so beautiful just to know that you can sit with the person and no word even needs to be said, except, I'm happy to see you, my friend. Today was hard, mentally, physically, emotionally. It was hard to have the visit, but I wanted it so bad, so bad. And so you just push on, you push through, and when it's over, then you have recovery time. But it's hard just thinking back on the past and the way it used to be. Makes you want to go back. I do so much more than I did. More sleepovers, more hanging out, more driving by the feed shop and admiring the cowboys, and I would just go and do and be so much more if I knew what was coming. Today was just a hard kind of slap in the face reality. I'm just looking at my friend. She's pushing on the best that she can, but chronic illness changes us. It changes the way that we look, our features, the way that we walk. We walk slow. We don't have our get up and go anymore. We walk slow. And we talk slower. We're more quiet. We're not as outgoing and giggly like we used to be. It's just hard to see. My friend was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. She was gorgeous, as always. But I'm sure she would agree. You can just see what chronic illness has done to us. It's just changed us in ways that we never ever expected. And we were living our fun, carefree days back in youth group. We would have never imagined our life like this, Everybody always told us, oh, you're going to get married, and you're going to have children, and life's going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful, and not to say it isn't, but there is so much that is so painful and so hard that it's hard to see the beauty and all the pain. And nobody told us what real marriage was like. Just being frank with you. Real marriage is hard. Really, really hard. And it takes a whole heck of a lot of work. And there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. But if you're committed and you're in it for the long haul, then you got to work on the downs to get back to the ups. But nobody ever tells you that stuff. Nobody. They make everything out to be like Disney Cinderella. And it's so frustrating. Excuse me. It's so frustrating. That's why I try to teach my kids reality. Like, this is life. This is reality. And you never know when life can be snatched up from you. And so live every moment. Enjoy every moment. Love with everything you've got. Be kind to one another. Be kind to those that are struggling, because you'll never know when you might be the one that's struggling. Don't think you're better than anybody else. Don't think you've got it all figured out and they should be doing this and they should be doing that and then their life wouldn't look like this. No. I'm teaching my children the real life stories. This is life. This is what it looks like. And be kind. Be kind, compassionate, and a good listener to someone who is hurting. Because it could be you one day and then you'll have nobody. Nobody will want to be kind and generous to you because you weren't kind and generous to them. It was so wonderful to see my friend today that I haven't seen in 7+ years. Now again, like I said, we talk constantly. We're always texting, talking, messaging, sending each other, I saw this and you needed to hear this today, or here's a positive this for you, or sending them a prayer, but just to see them face to face after so many years. It was bittersweet. That's a good word for it. It was bittersweet. It was very bitter and very, very sweet. I'll be right with you. Okay. I'm just sitting in my bed this evening trying to handle all of the emotions of it all. I'm thinking back on the past and all the fun and the giggles and the laughter that was had. And I'm thinking now about all the tears that have been shared amongst each other and how beautiful it's been to be able to help each other through this journey, called life. It's been tough. But to know that I have her in my life and that God purposely placed her in my life for this time, I can never be more grateful. There's a lot of times I'm questioning God, and it's like, God, why? Why is this happening to my friend? Why is this happening to me? Where are you? And it's moments like this where He reminds me, I'm here. I love you and I'm here. And I knew that you were going to need this person in your life at this very moment. And that's what I thank God for. Be kind. Be nice. Because you never know. You never know. You know, you can sit here all you want and say, oh, that'll never happen to me. Oh, my life is fine. You never know when it's going to be turned upside down in a moment's notice. We never saw any of this coming when we were younger in youth group. But it's our hard reality now. Be kind to those that you don't understand the journey that they're on. Love them so that when you need them, which I pray you never need them in this way, but in case you do, you have them to fall back on because you were there for them and now they're there for you. Today was hard. Today was bittersweet. I'm just working through all the emotions of it. If anyone else can relate to what I'm saying when the past meets the present, it's hard, isn't it? It's so hard. So hard. And the past can meet the present in many different ways. It doesn't have to be a chronic illness. It could be, you had trauma in your life when you were a little girl and it's coming up now that you're an adult or have children of your own, or maybe when you got married, the trauma came back. The past can meet the present in so many different ways. And it can be good or it can be very disheartening. I think that's what I'm feeling today, is disheartened. And I'm really tired. As you can see, this one eye is trying to go to sleep already. It was a long night last night. My body was trying to revolt on me, and so it's just been really hard to keep my eyes open today. And the brain fog and disorientation stuff just really drains my whole body, and then you can just see it all over my face. You can see it in my eyes and the, dark circles and droopiness. But whatever you're going through today, whatever past may be meeting up with the present, just know it's going to be okay. Doesn't feel like it right now, but it'll be all right, especially if your past meeting with your present feels really, really painful, and it's not a good thing. Just know you too will get through this. It's just going to take some time. Allow yourself the time to work through the emotions, to feel all the feelings. Don't stuff them. Don't say I'm being ridiculous, or don't let anyone tell you, why are you crying? That's ridiculous. Feel your feelings. Feel them. Let them out. Sit in mourning if you have to. That's what I'm doing this evening. I'm sitting in my feelings and I'm mourning the past so that I can allow the new friendship to develop and grow. It's going to look a little different, but that's okay. It's okay if it looks a little different. God knew it was going to look different, and He put us together because He knew that we would help each other through the different, and that we were going to need each other. If you're in mourning today, whatever it is that you're in mourning for, just know it's okay to sit, Be present with your emotions. Be present with your feelings. Allow them to happen. Work through them. Even if it takes today, tomorrow, and 2 days from now, work through them. Allow yourself the grace to sit in your feelings and allow yourself the grace to feel what you need to feel, because it's the only way you're properly going to heal. If anyone needs prayer, comment below, and if this resonates with anyone, please share. I'd love to get this out to more people that need to hear this message. If you have a family member or a friend that you think, man, they really need to hear this, I'd love for you to share it. I'm wishing you guys a great start to your week. I'm going to go get my kids in bed before it's too late for school. We get up super early, so it is time for them to get to bed. I'm wishing you all a wonderful Monday and a good start to the rest of your week. See you next time.